What is up, Honey Badger Nation? Welcome to episode 189 of Expert Mentors Live, and I'm excited for today's guest. We have the one and only Gina Hanson with us. Gina, what's up?
I am doing good. How are you all doing?
Doing good. We got to deal with this head cold thing. We were talking before we went live. It's got to be allergies or something, and then you informed me that you tried to poison your husband every day with your oak trees.
Yeah, my husband's definitely allergic to grass and oak trees and something else that grows here. So we moved from the place where he had no allergies to the dead center of Florida with oak trees everywhere. And the poor guy's dying 24/7.
It's miserable. Miserable. Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you jumping in and hanging with the Honey Badger Nation. And I know you're going to drop a ton of value. I know every opportunity that either on the leaders call, I know you joined Al and I on a Honey Badger Q&A call, and just always bringing tons of value. And that's really, what Expert Mentors is all about. And, the Honey Badger Nation is 11,000 plus and growing by the day. And, that was the whole intent when we started this series back 4 years ago, was really to tap into the horsepower that we have inside of the Honey Badger Nation. And we have so many amazing, talented entrepreneurs, rock stars, human beings that just love to share and give back. And I know today's going to be no different. So welcome and give everybody just kind of a little bit of background, a little bit of story. I know a little bit about you, but definitely kind of lay some context for everybody.
All right. So I started in 2007 up in Washington State, which is right as the real estate market tanked. I watched half of the realtors in the area leave, in the Hayden Nation actually leave. And I couldn't figure out if I was stupid because I really wanted to stay in this industry. I had to figure out quickly how to make things work. I am a logic, puzzle, number game geek. And I decided that the only way I was going to figure this thing out was to dive into the numbers and use those numbers to tell a story. And so that's really how I started to build my entire career. I eventually ended up being a team leader for 7 years, crisscrossed the country a few times. Now I am in Florida. I'm on the Global Investor Agent team. I'm a coach on that team. I own my own coaching company also. And that's sort of how I got from there to here.
I love it. Definitely a lot in there. So how has the numbers and kind of geeking out on problem solving? I know the answer because kind of the same way, but how has that, really served you well in kind of the business side of things with real estate?
Oh my gosh, I love numbers and I love solving puzzles. And I believe that we are paid in direct proportion to the level of problems that we can solve. And when we open up our brain to it's a puzzle or a problem, it's not a problem, it's a puzzle, we unlock the ability to solve that. And so it's just a constant digging in of, all right, how do I solve this? One of the ones that we just ran across actually was how to tell. We all know we're on the precipice of, most of us know we're on the precipice of a shift, and we can see it in some areas and not others. And everyone's trying to put their finger on it. And what is it going to look like? And when's it going to happen? And is it in my area? Is it not? And because I coach across the entire country, I had to figure out some way to quantify it so that we could tell, yes, it's definitely starting to hit in your area. And this is how, or no, it's not. You're still climbing like crazy. So we developed something called the trends report. So I can walk you through that if you want.
Absolutely. I think this would be extremely beneficial for everybody.
Cool beans. Okay, so here's what I had people do. And I can't remember. I think it was DC where it popped up first. I was coaching a girl up there, and she had a property listed quite a few months ago, actually. And she said, it's not moving. I said, you're overpriced. And she said, no, everything's moving. And I said, something's going on. And I need to get a grasp of what's going on. And I'm not in DC. I'm in Florida. So I don't have access to the numbers. So I had her do this before our next call. I said, I just want you to pull 3 reports. Pick an area, either pick the area that this is in, pick a school district, pick a neighborhood, pick the city, I don't care, but pick an area, zip code, whatever. Once you have that area picked, I want you to run a report on the MLS, find your report that is just a single line of every single thing that's sold in that area. Don't filter it by bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, nothing. Just run the raw report. I want everything that's sold in a 30-day window. Once you have that report, and I'm looking for the one specifically that does the averages across the bottom, and the numbers I'm looking for are average days on market or cumulative days on market, either one's fine, average list price and average sales price. And if it will give you the list price over sales price ratio, great. If not, it's a real simple math calculation. I think it's sales price divided by list price. You'll know if the number is wrong, and if it's wrong, just flip those two figures. But I think it's sales price divided by list price. But I want that report. So once you find that report, run that for the past 30 days, print it, and then run me another one, but go back and run it from 31 to 60 days, and then run it again from 61 to 90. So you've got 3 reports. And then once I have that, then I'll be able to look at those numbers and see what's going on. So she ran it and got it over to me. Well, the first thing we went through is days on market. Days on market, if it's 14 or below, it's a fake number. And what I mean by a fake number is this. You listed the house on Thursday. You probably got every offer in by Friday, Saturday at the latest. You could have negotiated through and gone pending on Sunday, but you purposely held that house open for another weekend. So you purposely held it open another 7 days until you went pending the following Monday or Tuesday or whatever day. So maybe there's 10, maybe 11 days on market. But really, you could have listed it and had your offers in, I don't know, 10 minutes flat. It's crazy, right?
Yes.
So 14 days and below is a fake number. 15 days and above, we're starting to get into some real numbers. And we're also moving out of multiple offer situation. And I know this because there's no way that if it says 22 days or 28 or 30 or 19 even, you're probably not in a multiple offer situation. You probably got one offer, you negotiated through, and then you went pending. So the first thing I'm looking at in that trends report, when I put those 3 reports together, I'll run a little graph that just shows me the 3 months, the days on market, list price, sales price, and those ratios. And then I look for the story. So in her case, the days on market had gone from something like 9 to 13 to, I don't know, 27 or something like that. It was wow. And here's why that's really important. An average agent is never going to look at this. All they're going to do is run a CMA, and it shows, you know, bedroom, bathroom, plus or minus 200 square feet, 2-mile range, whatever, last 30 days. And you'll see, like, maybe you see 18 days on market. And if you see 18 days on market, you're like, whoa, hot neighborhood. And it is. But if you know that it was 7 and then it was 11 and now it's 18, now you know the real story. And the real story is you're moving out of multiple offer situations and into single offer situations. So that's what a trends report is. When we ran it again, I had another client up in Nashville area. This was winter. So a few months ago, we ran it again. And I don't ever know what the story is. I just know that it tells me what the story is. So we ran it again, and what we saw there was the days on market were pretty average or pretty stable, but that list price to sales price ratio came way down, and that sales price was flat all the way across. And so as we're looking at it, I was, okay, what's the story? How do I sell this? Well, the story is, Mr. Seller, look, we are seeing that our list price to sales price ratio is tightened up now. We need to be very, very careful on our pricing. We no longer can ride that equity run up that everyone's been doing. Oh, price a little above the market. The market's going to catch up to you, piece of cake. You couldn't be sloppy anymore. You had to be really tight. Now, since then, yeah, Nashville's coming back out of it again. But when you're using this, sell it. So run the reports and don't just do the graph. Actually, when you're sitting down with your client, draw it out, but it gives you a reason to call. And then it gives you a reason to talk to your client. So here's what I mean by that. You can show people reports and they don't know how to see it. But when you're selling, I need you to look here, and then I need you to look here. This is what this means. And then you go through and explain it. Mr. Seller, I know you've been waiting because you wanted to wait till we're at the peak of the market. But what we're seeing right now is I believe we are at the peak of the market, and it looks like we're starting to shift away from that. You might want to list now before you lose that opportunity. Mr. Buyer, I know you've been waiting for the market to cool down. What we're seeing is that we're moving out of multiple offer situations, and many of our buyers are now getting their first offers accepted. Yep. By now, you're aware that the interest rates are only going one direction. I don't want to see you priced out of the market. So that's a trends report The other way to use it, I love this report, is if you guys are running across the objection, I'm sure you're hearing this one out there, John, the I can't sell because there's nowhere to go, right? So the thing of it is people are either moving up, down, or out.
Yep.
That's pretty much what they're doing. So for people that are moving up, run a trends report on their and then run another one on the area they're looking to move into. Chances are you're going to see better numbers or more favorable numbers for buying there, even if they're slight. So maybe the list price to sales price ratio on that lower price range is 109 or 110, but in that higher price range is 101. Well, Mr. Seller, what this means is you're going to get 10 cents extra on the dollar on what you're selling, but you're only going to pay a penny on the dollar extra. So you can use that report for that. If you're moving out, a lot of times we're seeing this mass exodus out of the city into the more suburban or rural areas. Again, same thing. Those trends reports will show that, where you're actually going to get top dollar for what you're selling, and you're going to be able to pick something up that's got some better ratios for you. So it's just a really good multi-use report that you can really dive into the numbers and what they are for that area.
Yeah. And Jay and I've been talking about this the last few weeks, is that you have to get back to being able to show them. The days of telling them are not going to work.
Mm-mm.
You have to be able to put the data in front of them and show them, and then kind of articulate, like you said, what does this mean? And then ask them the question, hey, based upon what you're trying to accomplish, your goals, where do you think we need to be positioning your home in today's market? And I know, you like that word, right? You like positioning. I do too. And, we never called it a price reduction. We just said, hey, we need to have a conversation about how we need to reposition your home in today's market. So let's look at what today's market really is. And I think what you're talking about with the trends report, let's our clients kind of get a grasp of what today's market really is.